everyone, and welcome back to another episode of TGIF. Today is the 5th of March 2021, and I know that I've missed a few weeks out. We've had busy times here. We've had some illness, some chickenpox times 2, and various things that have kept me from making some Friday videos. So I'd like to share with you today what I have done with my mother's morning basket for Lent. It looks a lot emptier than usual. I actually try to cut back on things in Lent. I try to simplify. But it's a little bit misleading because I'm doing a lot of things that are online, like podcasts and things like that. So I'm filling my day with other things that are not in my morning basket. I'll get to that. So today I have my diary. Just checking what I need to do. Fortunately, I do have the whole day off today. So I have as much time as I need to prepare for the Sabbath. So today I have the mobile libraries coming, so that's good. I can return some books and get some new ones. I have an errand to run to go pick up some floss, a click and collect. And mostly, although I do have some tidying up to do, I mostly have my list is mostly things from my basket, some of my tasks, and then some coursework from my catechism course. So it should be kind of a easygoing day, I think. A quiet day. So that's good. This weekend, I have a Zoom call for one of my stitch-alongs that I'm doing. I'm doing Roxy. I'm doing a Zoom call on Saturday. And on Sunday, I have my usual watching Mass online, my first communion class on Zoom, my family Zoom call, and a Lent prayer service that I do with some of my friends from the community of Aidan and Hilda and my Celtic Christian community. So, yeah, that sort of rounds out my weekend. So as I look ahead at what I need to do, then I can plan the other types of things I'd like to fit in. So that will include, I'm using Celtic Lent by David Cole. I've used this for several years, and I usually do it every day. There aren't special sections for Sundays. The Sundays are days for contemplation. So I usually do it each day, but if I skip a day, I might catch up if I feel like it. And if I don't feel like it, I don't. And in that way, sometimes when I go back to read it the next year, I think, wow, I don't know if I really remember reading that bit before. I do like to vary it though. I've had various Lenten devotionals over the years, and some I've given away and some I keep in the cupboard and I swap around. So, but I still like this one for this year. I have just finished my library books. So I have Julian of Norwich, Revelations of Divine Love, and this one is translated by Elizabeth Spearing, and it's really nice. And what's interesting is I thought, not knowing it, not having read it before, I thought I should read some of the commentaries first. So last year sometime I got on Audible a mystics work, Julian of Norwich by Christina M. Carlson, and I listened to that on Audible, and that inspired me to then get this. There are some translations that are more close to the original and they're hard to get through. So I thought, well, maybe I should just read some more commentaries first. But actually, this is a beautiful translation. It's really easy to read. It's really highly readable, and you can go straight to this. Having said that, I also read Julian of Norwich by Grace Jantzen, which was in our library system as well. And this is a commentary, and just it helps to explain the time period she lives in. Both of the commentaries by Christina, Carlson, and this by Grace Jantzen, they explain the time period she lived in, what other mystics might have been doing at that same time. And Julian of Norwich is known to be the first English, the first book in English. Her writings she created in English rather than Latin, which was common at the time for mystics to use. So she is well known for that. It's a beautiful piece of work. It is about her revelations when she was sick with a fever, and Jesus came to her and showed her all sorts of truths about heaven and about God and about love. And I love all the works of the mystics, but I especially love this one, I suppose, because it has a lot of our modern Christians, a lot of our, especially New Age Christians and things like that, who are considered heretics by the Catholic Church especially, have a lot of similarities with their messages for Julian. And Julian is very adamant in her work that she loves the church and she follows the church, and that she finds some discrepancies with what Jesus is telling her and what the church is teaching, and she just doesn't understand how they add up. And Jesus keeps telling her, all shall be well, all shall be well. And if she's saying, but I just don't understand how this can happen, how you can just love everyone and how everything is okay and sin is terrible, and isn't everybody just, going to suffer? And Jesus keeps saying to her, but nothing is impossible with God. He is capable of everything, of fixing everything. And so this is how she manages to reconcile the two. All she needs to do is just put her faith in Jesus, and not worry about some of the minor details. I'm paraphrasing, and maybe I've got it wrong, but anyway, it's a beautiful piece of work. So those are going back to the library today. The mobile library bus is just coming to my road in a few short hours. So in my basket, I put my sketchbook, because I quite often like to sketch something, especially if I'm feeling inspired by something I'm reading. But it's also a nice place to keep it so I know where it is. I have just a journal. It's just a notebook. It's just my current journal. When I'm finished with that, I toss it. I don't keep my journals. They're just sort of ramblings and notes and plans for the day. There's nothing really important there. Sometimes I do keep a special journal during Lent and Advent, but I decided not to this time. I just wanted to make it simple. I have my Lent book. I am listening to the Bible in a Year podcast by Ascension with Father Mike, and I am loving it. And if I skip a day or two, it's just nice to sort of catch up, especially on a Friday. I can catch up while I'm doing the dishes, or just in the morning as I'm doing some sketching and things. I can catch up. They're about 20, sometimes 25 minutes, so they're not very long. It just seems like the perfect amount, and he has some really insightful comments to say after he does the readings. I don't read along my Bible, I just listen. I think there are so few chances outside of Mass to listen to somebody read the Bible to you, so I just really try to listen to it. I might be doing some chores at the same time, but I don't read and take notes or anything like that. And also they're available all the time, so you don't need to have started in January or even February. There's no sort of catching up that you need to do. You just start on day one and just get going with it. And it's a really beautiful piece of work in terms of how they put it together, all the work they've put into it, So I'm loving it. I just highly, highly recommend it. Even if you're not Catholic, it's just the Bible. It's just God's word, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting to put it all together. That's the key of it, is listening to the whole thing, and the way they divide it up, and the way they're working with the timeline so that you can see why some of these weird things happened in the Old Testament and how it plays a part in our salvation history. So it's a remarkable piece of work. And this weekend I have in here, just for a short time only, I have my Simon Reed's Followers of the Way book. And this is because he's created the waymarks that we use in our community of Aidan and Hilda. He's created it into a book that people can use in their communities or on their own, even if they're not a member of our community. So, and it's a wonderful book. It's really simple. It's, it's really nice. And we have 10 waymarks, and I try to go through each of the waymarks each year, maybe one a month, usually skipping Easter, Lent and Advent. But I'm meeting with my soul friend on Monday via Zoom, and we're going to be discussing the waymarks, my way of life that I've created, guided by these waymarks. So I thought I'll bring out the book and then see if it inspires me at all as I'm reviewing my way of life. So that will just be this weekend. So I'll take some notes on that, and then it's going to go back into the bookshelf. There's another resource for the waymarks, which is the Community of Aidan and Hilda website. And they have all the waymarks there, including Ray Simpson, who is one of our founding members. He has created videos for each waymark as well. So, and that's all free for anybody to access and find out more about that. And I'm going to be making some more videos about that and about the different waymarks as we go along, and I talk more about Celtic Christianity, because I do think it's quite helpful for everybody. You don't have to be a member of this group. You don't even have to be interested in the Celtic saints or anything like that. But having a way of life is a really helpful way to move forward on your journey, on your spiritual journey. So I'll be sharing that with you. Now, I wonder if there's anything else I need to include today. Maybe what I'll do is just explain one more time, so I've explained it a little bit, the different waymarks that we have. And see, right off the bat, I bet you can, without reading a book, without looking at any websites, you can start to reflect and think about how these might be helpful in your life. Okay, so waymark 1 is be a lifelong learner. Waymark 2 is journey with a soul friend. Waymark 3 is keep a rhythm of prayer, work, and recreation. Waymark 4 is live as simply as possible. Waymark 5 is celebrate and care for creation. Waymark 6 is heal whatever is broken. Waymark 7, be open to the Holy Spirit and listen. Waymark 8, pray for good to overcome evil. Waymark 9 is pursue unity, and that's among peoples, among churches, among peoples. Waymark 10, share Jesus and justice. So those are the titles that Simon has given to the waymarks in this book in particular. So on this channel, I talk especially about waymark 3, keep a rhythm of prayer, work, and recreation. So the keeping the Sabbath really falls into that category in terms of setting aside time every day and every week for God, for spirit, for and also for recreation. So balancing work and renewing your spirit as well as leisure activities. Okay, so next week we'll talk about being a lifelong learner, and probably if you're listening to this, you are a lifelong learner and you don't need much guidance on that, because people who seek the Spirit, who seek God, tend to pile their bookshelves full of these books and keep learning. So that probably won't be new to you. However, we'll chat about that next week. Okay, so I wish you a good Sabbath. Remember to just take a few minutes today to figure out when your Sabbath is, when your Sabbath rest will be, when you're going to be renewing your spirit, how you're going to be celebrating this life with your family this weekend, whether it's via Zoom or in your own homes. And stay safe, and I wish you a good Sabbath. Thanks for watching.